Okay, hello and welcome to Detox Your Inbox, our workshop to go through your inbox, declutter, and save your sanity. I am so excited that you are here. If you're watching the replay, hello, thank you for joining. This is going to be set up as a bit of an interactive video for you, so there will be time for you to work on decluttering your inbox while you go through the video so that you can make some progress and really get yourself set up for success in your inbox moving forward, not just for today. So I'm really excited to have you here. Thank you so much. And let's get into our content for today. So here's what we're going to be going through as part of our Detox Your Inbox workshop. First, a little bit about me, just to give you some context. If you haven't met me before or haven't yet come into one of my live events, this is your opportunity to get to know who is behind the screen here. Next, we're going to talk about the impact of your inbox and how it's really impacting your day-to-day life, not only organizationally, but also your mental health and just how it can impact your day-to-day. Next, we'll do your inbox review. This is where the worksheets are going to come in handy. So if you don't have your worksheet opened up on your computer or printed out, be sure to do that ahead of that session. Then we will talk about maintaining and automating, how to get into a routine with your emails so you don't get clogged up every single week with all of the new emails that are coming through. And finally, your next step, how to take this organizational paradigm in your email and move it towards the rest of your life. So I'm really excited to get into all of this content with you. Okay. So if we haven't met before, my name is Hillary. I am a life organization coach and the founder and CEO of Simple Harmonic. I'm also a corporate director by day. So if you're wondering why I'm so passionate about organizing email, it's because not only do I have my personal email and my business email, I've also got work email, and there's a lot of organizing that can be done there. And during the day, I am an HR and analytics professional, so got a lot of numbers running around there. And I'm also a physics grad and a proud nerd all around. So organizing is really a natural fit in that setup for myself. I'm also an ICF certified life coach, so that's the International Coaching Federation, and I'm an organizing geek and a side hustler. So really just balancing and juggling all these different aspects of my life. And I love to come to my clients and my audience and provide as much value as possible to help you get your life more organized day to day. So let's talk a bit about your inbox. And I get it. It is probably a mess. It is probably causing you quite a bit of stress, but it's not a lost cause. And I'm here to help you move through this current clutter that you're dealing with and get to that next level. So maybe you've been feeling a bit like this. If this resonates with you, if this meme just really speaks to your soul, that is why we are here. So a cluttered inbox isn't just an annoyance. It isn't just something that, is a fact of life. It can really have an impact on your work performance, your mental health, and your ability to get things done effectively. Research even shows that having clutter around you, whether it is physical clutter or even your email, can really impact how you're able to focus, how you're able to regulate your mood, and really just have a positive experience in your daily life. So I want you to think about these questions as I ask them and really kind of get to the emotional root of how your inbox is impacting you. So first question is, how does looking at your inbox make you feel? Is it something like anxiety? Is it something like guilt, perhaps, because you've got a lot piling up? So think through some of those emotional reactions and how that really hits you, especially if you're checking your email every single day or multiple times a day. The next question is, how does your inbox impact your life? This is a little bit more on the tactical side. So, is it causing you to fall behind on work priorities or schedules that you need to be keeping track of? Is it, causing you to miss updates from friends and family because they're buried under a mountain of Black Friday sales emails? Is it causing you to just feel like nothing is working in your life and kind of trickling into other areas where you're feeling disorganized as well? So think through some of these kind of tactical pieces of how your inbox is impacting you there. And finally, this one's really important. How would it feel to finally clear out that inbox, to have a sense of all of the email that you have sitting in there, that it's been put away, it's been dealt with, and you're finally on top of it? Just bask in that positive emotion, whether it's relief, whether it is elation, whether it is excitement or confidence that you have everything under control. So whatever those feelings are, just really think through how that would feel for you to really get it all together. Awesome. So now that you have a sense of the emotional impact of your inbox, both on the positive side and the negative, I'm here for you. I am here as your David Hasselhoff to pull you out of drowning in your emails and get you to that next level. So just got to throw some memes in there. I have to do it. Awesome. So I also want to point out that organizing your email can really be your first step. So decluttering can be your first step towards your organized life. And as a life organization coach, I help my clients organize their lives overall to create the time and energy they need for their big dreams. And I'll talk a bit more about this at the end of the session, but really what I want to say is that getting organized in all of these different aspects from a holistic perspective is what unlocks that mental energy and freedom to really get clear on what it is that matters to you and how you can prioritize it with your time, with your energy, and really make things happen that is a lot more helpful for you and honestly fulfilling than just clearing through email constantly. So I'm really excited to chat about that, but let's get into the organizational structure for your email here. All right, so the first piece is your inbox review. And this is the portion of the presentation where you're going to pull out your worksheet. So we have 3 different sections here that you can review as part of your email process. So the first one is volume. We're talking how many emails are you dealing with right now? Are they mainly unread, or are they things you've looked at already? Is there anything urgent popping up in the review? So you'll notice on your worksheet, this is the first section. There's a little bit of text space there for you to just kind of type through as you review your email, what's coming up for you around volume. Next is categories, and this is where the worksheet is really going to come in handy because it gives you space to walk through how do you want to categorize and sort your email as you put it all away. So what we're going to be doing over the next 10 minutes or so is scrolling through your inbox and finding what categories naturally arise for you. And this will differ depending on the type of person you are and the way that you think. So for example, you might like to sort things by sender, right? Let's say you're sorting through your personal email. You get a lot of emails from your mom, let's say, and you really want to have those in a separate inbox, a separate folder to make sure that you can keep track of everything that she sent you. On the other hand, you might work better with, categories or topics, things along the lines of, okay, these are notifications from work, or these are for a specific project, and you want to put those into a particular area. So of course, if you have any questions about organizing your categories, please feel free to let me know. You can always reach out to me on social media if you're struggling with this area. But what I would kind of encourage you to do is take a step back and think, okay, if I were looking for this email in the future, what category would naturally make sense for me to find it again? And that's really what you're going to use to create these categories. So use that space on your worksheet to set up what your structures will look like. You can also use it to set up subcategories if you want to. So for example, if you have a project and then you have subcategories for each milestone of that project, you can create those. And this is also, you'll see on the worksheet that this is where you're going to create folders or flags that have to do with these categories. So it's going to depend on which kind of email client you're working with. If you're in Outlook, folders make perfect sense. That's what you'll set up. If you're in Gmail, for example, you'll be using labels instead. It kind of operates the same way. It's a little bit different, but the idea is that the categorization is what takes these emails out of your inbox to alleviate that mental stress and get them put away in the places that make sense for you. The final section of this inbox review is frequency, and we're talking how often are you getting emails coming in and what can you do about it? So the first question here is any recurring emails that you want to keep track of. Now, I know if you have a personal email inbox, you are probably dealing with a lot of just stuff you've signed up for over time, whether it's from different stores announcing their sales, or whether it's from other businesses or content creators or influencers that are sending you things constantly. But there might be some that you really enjoy going through every day. So for example, I've signed up for a daily newsletter called The Skim. And it's a high-level overview in a funny way of different news headlines for the day. So I get one of those every day. And I like to have those in my inbox because it lets me review them over time. But of course, if I start to fall behind with them and they get all clogged up, they're not as relevant anymore after a certain number of days. And so I want to make sure that I'm aware of needing to keep on top of those emails if I want to have them in my inbox. And you'll also notice on your worksheet in terms of frequency, there's a little sentence at the end that says, how often does it make sense for me to review my email in general to sort it away and make sure I'm put together? That's going to come up later in our session, more so around the automation and maintenance portion of our workshop, but keep that in mind as you go through this as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to put up some kind of black screen and music for you to go work on this, and then we will reconvene afterwards to move on to our next session. Okay, welcome back. Hope your inbox review went well. Feel free to let me know on social media how it went or if you have any questions. And let's move on to our next section, which is starting to really cut away at that volume that is sitting in your inbox that you don't really need anymore. So this next section is called unsubscribe, and this is your next assignment. We're going to take the next 15 minutes or so to unsubscribe from newsletters or emails that you no longer want to receive. And there's multiple parts to this. So we're not just going to unsubscribe, we're also going to clear out that bulk of email from that sender and get rid of all of it at once. That's what I recommend doing here. So first, the step is to unsubscribe from the newsletter, whatever it is. The next one, before you delete that email, is to search your inbox for other emails from that same sender or with the same subject line. So kind of do a little search. So for example, if you unsubscribe from Sephora or something along those lines that you were signed up for, you would then search for all the emails that are sitting in your inbox from that sender and delete them all at once. That way you're not constantly trying to find, okay, did I unsubscribe from them yet? Did I not? Do I need to go back? So it gives you just a quick way to cut through some of that clutter and reduce that volume by quite a bit. So we're going to take another 15-minute break here to go through, unsubscribe from as many as possible, and let me know on social media as well how many newsletters you unsubscribe from. I want to hear. I'm hoping it's a lot. And yeah, let me know how it goes. But in the meantime, here's your 15-minute break, and we'll reconvene shortly. welcome back. Hope you had a fabulous time unsubscribing from as many newsletters as possible and deleting them all from your email so you're dealing with a lot less volume than you were at the beginning. So now we're going to talk about how to keep your inbox tidy moving forward. So I want to point out that a cluttered space leads to a cluttered mind, and that includes your inbox. So any sort of recurring kind of volume of things that you're dealing with, especially if it comes in very quickly, it's going to make you feel burdened mentally. And this is what we want to start to avoid as we set up email structures for you to kind of take you into the future in a really sustainable way. So the first thing I want to say here is that you want to follow the organizational method that works for you. And this may take some trial and error, but a cluttered inbox may just be the result of the wrong system for you. You might be using a folder structure that doesn't work for you. You might be trying to use flags to remind yourself to come back to things and it doesn't work. You keep forgetting or whatever the case is. So it's really about giving yourself that time and that reflection space to figure out what works best for you. And that's what's most important. I'm going to give you some ideas in here of things that have worked for me and for my clients, but really it's going to come down to what works best for you. So try it out. If it doesn't work, no worries, and just try different things to see what will work best for you. And of course, reach out to me if you have any questions about that or need some ideas of what will work best. So here's just a suggestion of what I do and what's worked for me. So once you're done with an email, let's say that you have read it, you've responded to it, or you've read it and it was just an FYI, there's nothing more that you need to physically action. It's time to file it away. And so I'm not saying that you need to delete every email that ever comes to you. Deleting is reserved for things that you will not need to reference ever again. So all of those Black Friday emails sitting in your inbox, you probably don't need to reference those again. Probably. And so you can safely delete those. But if you get something that's relevant to a work project or a sweet message from a friend that you want to keep for the future, you can file it away into a folder or by tagging and archiving, which is the Gmail method of filing things away. If you still need to action the message, like there's something you still need to do that you're waiting on or you're working on, you can leave it in your inbox. And that's what I find has worked for me, is that it gives me a sense by looking at my inbox of what I still have left to do. My inbox basically acts as a to-do list for me because I know that anything sitting in there is what I need to still get done. Alternatively, here's another option. You can use flags in Outlook, for example, to remind you to follow up on a message. So if there's something that you're wanting to put away, but you might need to reach out to the person again to say, hey, I sent you this. Did you get a chance to look at it? You can use flags to remind you to do that. In Gmail, there's options, there's automated nudges that it has set up. You might have seen this if you are a Gmail user, that if you've sent an email and you haven't received a reply in 5 days or so, Gmail will bring it back up for you and say, hey, you sent this 5 days ago, this person hasn't replied, do you want to follow up? Which is great, very nice of them. But you can manually adjust these as well if you need to kind of increase the frequency or just tag a specific email and say, hey, I really want to be reminded on this one more often. So that is an option as well. And no matter how much we tidy and automate, keeping your inbox in good shape is going to take some regular maintenance, just like anything in life that is needing to be sustained over time. So choose a cadence that works for you. And if you need to, set an alarm to do it. And so this is, again, where that frequency piece on your worksheet is going to come in handy. So if you want to, let's say, check in on Monday mornings, Friday afternoons, on a weekend, whatever time kind of makes sense. And it might be daily, depending on the volume that you have. It might be a specific time of day, or just really basing it around the different things that you have going on in your schedule. So give yourself that time, and it's not shameful to need to have time in your week or in your day to organize emails. Honestly, it helps you keep on top of what you've got going on to make sure that you're not falling behind on anything and you're really just on the ball and feeling more organized in your day. And so let's take the next 15 minutes to work through your remaining emails. So this is an opportunity to either continue with the unsubscribing if that wasn't enough time for you to get through that, or to set up a folder and label structure and start putting things away. So I'm calling this a choose your own adventure period because you can use it for whatever time you want. And I hope you have a fantastic next 15 minutes, and we'll reconvene soon. hello, welcome back. It is time to move on to our final section of getting your email set up for success in the future. So I want to talk a bit about automations. This might be a little bit too high concept or a little bit too far for some of you that are watching. But that being said, I just want to introduce the idea for you because this might be useful in specific cases, especially if you're dealing with a lot of volume, but you want to keep track of things. So if you have regular messages that you don't want to deal with daily, but you still want to keep them for future reference, this is going to be for you. So let me give you an example. I have a regular email that comes to me that lets me know about different opportunities for working with media. So different articles I can collaborate with or different agencies. And so those emails come 3 times a day. It's a lot, and I don't always have time to take a look at them in that day. And so they can start to really pile up. But when I do go into my email, I want to be able to find those emails again so that I can review them when I've got the chance. So this is a great opportunity for me to take all of those automated regular emails and put them all away at once, such that when it is time and I've decided, yes, I finally have time to go review these, very similar emails, I'll go into that folder and check them out there at that moment. So what this really looks like is auto sorting your emails that come into your inbox into their own respective folders. So in Gmail, this is done by using filters. So I'm going to demonstrate it on the left-hand side here with some screenshots, and then I'll show you the Outlook or Apple Mail version afterwards. So for filters, the way that this works is in the Gmail search bar, there's a little kind of drop-down button, and it allows you to pop up and create a filter. And so here is where you would define what this filter is going to look like. So you can say who it's coming from as one of your filters, or who it's sent to, which could be yourself or could be others. Subject, so are there specific words in the subject line that define this email as totally different from others, or it has certain words in it, or it doesn't have certain words in it. You can filter for if it has an attachment or how old this email is. So there's lots of different filtering options. But once you're done all of that, you're going to click that Create Filter button at the bottom, and that is where you're going to get the next piece, which is the actions that are taken based on that filter. So this pop-up here shows you all the different options that you have for taking an action once an email that matches this filter comes into your inbox. So for example, I've checked off the 2 that I would be using for these automated emails that I was discussing earlier. So the first check is skip the inbox. That means it never actually lands in that main inbox. It goes straight into the archive, but at the same time, I'm applying a label to it. And so HARO, that's like help a reporter out. That's what the emails are called. So I will put it into a folder called that automatically without it ever hitting my inbox, without it ever clogging it up. And then once this is created, it will apply forever until I turn it off. And so this is a great opportunity for me to automatically reduce the volume in my inbox without ever having to think about it again, while still keeping those emails subscribed to and accessible for me in the future. So this is a good option for you, especially if you have, automated reports coming to you at work or newsletters that you really like to read, but not on a regular basis. So take advantage of these if you would like. And let me show you the Outlook and Apple Mail version of this. Oops. So here we have on the top, the Create Rule section in Outlook. So this is what it looks like. Very similar to the Gmail one, it's just called a rule instead. So at the top, you would kind of apply the filter piece. And at the bottom, you would say, okay, what do I want it to do? So you can check off the move the item to the folder checkbox and type in which folder you want or select it from a dropdown. So same concept, but just different application. And on the bottom is the Apple Mail version of this. To be perfectly honest, you guys, I am not an Apple person, but it's a very similar process. You kind of set up your conditions, your filters, and then at the bottom, perform the following actions, and you can add different actions as you go. So you can see, for example, move message to the mailbox called vendors is just another option to get it out of your main inbox and into a folder that you prefer. So that being said, this is our last 15-minute working session. So you can use it for whatever you would like, especially since we just learned automations. This is a great opportunity for you to start applying some of that learning, or you can keep unsubscribing, keep sorting, whatever you need most. This is also a great time, if you haven't done it yet, be sure to share your progress on social media. Take a little picture, snapshot of your inbox or of this presentation. tag me at simpleharmonic.co. I would love to cheer you on as you work through detoxing your inbox. So have fun, you guys, and we'll reconnect in 15 minutes. Welcome back. Hope you had a fantastic final 15-minute working period. Now let's get into what your next step might look like as you organize your inbox and your whole life. So email is really just the beginning. It's one thing that you do look at very regularly, probably every single day, and it's a great opportunity to get organized at that surface level. But if you're ready to get your life together at a more holistic level across every different aspect of your life, your core values, your space, your work, your wealth, your health, yourself, I know those all rhyme, that was on purpose. These are the different areas that you can really hone in on what matters to you, what matches your personality, what your priorities are, and you can really apply organizational paradigms to each of these to help you feel more put together and ready for any dream and desire that you have in your life. And so my approach as a life organization coach is to take all of these different areas of your life that you want to get organized and apply the 3 S's to them. We've got your structure, support, and sustainability. So structure is talking about giving you the tools, the resources, the physical actions that you need to take to get your life more put together in each of these areas. The support is really around accountability and making sure that you have the guidance, but also just the cheerleader or even the kick in the pants to get you to that next step and make sure that you stay on track. And sustainability is about taking these changes that you're making in your life and truly applying them for the future, making sure that you are creating schedules and routines and systems that are actually realistic for you, that you're not just going to fall off the wagon in a month from now because it doesn't really fit into your lifestyle. It's about creating that sustainable routine, those sustainable habits, so you can carry them forward and have a foundation of feeling more put together in your life so that organization can carry you to the goals and the lifestyle that you dream for yourself. And so what I want to invite you to, if you are interested, is a free call with me to start on your journey to get your life more organized. So if you're ready to take your life organization journey to the next level, you can book a free one-on-one sample coaching call with me today. They're an hour-long session to really get into the root of what is feeling out of alignment, out of place, disorganized for you in your life, and how we can set up that structure and support and sustainability to move you forward into your next level. And I also want to let you know that if you book your call by December 26th, so Boxing Day sale here, you will also be locking in free Voxer support if you choose to join my one-on-one coaching program. So there's absolutely no requirement to join the coaching program at all. It's a totally no strings attached sample call. But if you do book that sample call before the 26th, you will get access to that free Voxer support. So if you don't know what Voxer is, it's basically a kind of walkie-talkie messaging app that uses voice or chat. And it's really about giving you constant support in between coaching calls during my one-on-one coaching program. So you get support for the entire duration of our 16 weeks together, not just on our biweekly coaching calls. So let me know if you have any questions about that. But either way, if you're on the fence, curious about that, regardless, you can book your free sample coaching call just to lock that in, make sure you've got it, and you'll get all of the coaching support inside that call for free as well. So absolutely do that. Let me know if you have any questions about that, and I would love to hear from you there. And you'll have a link for that in the email that we sent this replay through, so check that out there. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a fantastic time detoxing your inbox and really just feel a lot more put together as you look at your emails that are sitting there and you know that they are things that matter to you, that are important, that you need to, action them, and you're just feeling like you're on the ball. You are on your game and you got this. So I appreciate you being here. DM me on Instagram to share your progress and your biggest takeaway from today's workshop. I would love to hear what you took away from this whole journey together. And thank you so much for being here, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, everyone.